What's up, y'all? Thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I am Surge T, and tonight I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite, doing my rundown and thoughts for September 29, 2021. And we see a Brodie Lee in memoriam to open the show. Brodie Lee died, of course, he made his debut in AEW in March of 2020, and not too long after, he passed away, unfortunately, in December. And here we are, and they're celebrating his life. We're going to see his son and his wife later on. But let's get through with it, and let's talk to them. Well, not get through with it in a sense of get on with the show, get on with the video. CM Punk comes out and he greets the crowd by making a lap at ringside, and he'll be joining the broadcast booth, the broadcast table, the desk, whatever you want to say. He'll be joining Excalibur, JR, and Tony Schiavone. And what a way to open AEW Dynamite with Adam Cole versus Jungle Boy. This, of course, was started. A little bit of a heat and rivalry between them is when Adam Cole came out at All Out. You're thinking, oh, he's going to be babyface, or at least going to be on the good guy side because of how he was treated by the Elite, how he was kicked out of the Elite back in, I believe it was in New Japan. But wherever it was, wherever it came from, we thought, hey, Adam Cole is going to side with, like I said, the good guys, but he ends up super kicking Jungle Boy, and that kicked it off, and that kicked off events that led to this match. And we see Jungle Boy kicking out of a Panama Sunrise, and you see a what the F expression across the face of Adam Cole, and why not? He has literally taken people out with that move, setting them up for the boom, or like in NXT, it was known as the last call, or the last shot, I should say. And he goes for the boom. He misses it, and then he is put into a snare trap submission by Jungle Boy, but he gets out of it and delivers a low blow. Does Adam Cole while he's pressed up against Aubrey Edwards and distracting her, kind of making sure that she doesn't see nothing. He's kind of up against her and hands up and everything like that, and then he does that heel kick, low blow, and then he hits the boom and pins Jungle Boy. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? And this isn't past Adam Cole's past antics. He's the kind of guy that will do something like that. And of course, he's part of the super elite and then the elite as well. I mean, so what they do in order to win matches. Now, the match, in the ring, he gets joined by Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows and Bucks, Kenny Omega, and their stooges, Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa. And Carl Anderson lets us know what it is to be elite. And a CM Punk chant rings out as Nakazawa holds the mic. They're saying, hey, the greatest member of the elite, let's let him talk. And he puts it in Nakazawa's hand, or something like that. And Nakazawa's like, what? Tells him to shut up when the CM Punk chants ring out. And then Kenny Omega takes the mic and he talks about what everybody's talking about, and considering the greatest AEW match ever in history. And to me, it's what I'm saying. I think it's like, yeah. And it was also a match that ended in a time limit draw, and Omega proclaims that Danielson will not get a rematch. I wonder why. But then Danielson comes out and asks the crowd, and they are 100% behind him, behind that happening. And the Danielson name is Kenny Omega. He calls him Kenny No Balls Omega, and the crowd chants Kenny No Balls. And on Rampage, he wants to challenge anyone who has a balls to fight him then. How about tonight, says Omega. And then Danielson is game and calls out his reinforcements in Jurassic Express, Christian Cage and Frankie Kazarian, and of course the Elite scoot out of the ring and head up the rampway. And so will we get an answer as to whom he will face at Rampage? But let's move on. The Lucha Bros are also the AAA Tag Team Champions. I didn't know that. They, of course, are the AEW Tag Team Champions. And, Andrade says that he has some friends who want a shot at those belts. Who are those men? I wonder who they can be, and are they people that's in AEW right now, or are they somewhere else? Maybe New Japan or in Impact, AAA maybe. So let's see. Now Dante Martin and Matt Sydal versus Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson. And I believe this match is only here. It's on this card or on this match. I mean, this program to continue to sow the seeds of dissension between Cody and Arn. We saw that happening, at last week during Rampage week. I mean, Rampage week, but during what do you call that? During call it Grand Slam week, and I see Cody becoming or turning heel. Kind of had that sense. Kind of looks like that, but don't know for sure. But then we see during this match, Cody Rhodes starts off first, and then Arn Anderson's like, "What are you doing?" Because he wanted Lee Johnson to start. I'm thinking, who cares who starts? That's not something that should cause dissension or cause something like, Cody wants to start. Why not? I mean, his game plan, was that the game plan? Why is that a game plan? You know what I mean? Like, I get it if the person matches up to the their opponent, that they're in the ring. Okay, I guess, but I don't know. I didn't see that. Then Lee Johnson, in the end, he delivers a neckbreaker on Dante Martin, and the crowd boos as Cody is talking. And Cody wants Malachi Black out there, and Arn Anderson pretty much tells him, "Hey, really just berating him, kind of cutting him down." And then in the end, he's like, he parts with Cody, and he says that the reason why is I don't want to coach a loser. You hear people, kind of thing, and things that he was saying, he has a point. But what's gonna happen? I mean, Cody didn't really react in the sense like anger or anything. He was just like, really, like kind of like and I thought he was gonna attack Arn. I thought Lee Johnson probably would side with Cody and stick with him, but Arn Anderson's the coach. He knows what he's talking about. So I guess Lee Johnson's thinking, I'm going to stick with the coach because he can lead me down a good path. And then he's probably unsure about Cody and where his head's at. But his mind's, and of course, if you have Malachi Black on your mind, I guess you can't focus on things. You're really intent on taking him out and sending him packing. But I think that Malachi Black is here to stay, I should say. Now, Bear Country versus Anthony Green. And Anthony Green, I should say. They take on Darby, Kingston, and Mox. And in the end, Eddie and Johnny Mox deliver their Violent Crown, a pretty damn good double team finisher move. And they pin and win this match. And even Sting got him some, and he delivers his Scorpion Death Drop. Why not? Hey, he's not wrestling this week, or he's not wrestling, I don't know. Why not hit somebody with my patented move? Of course, sure, why not? It was a fun match. It was okay. I didn't mind it. Now Ruby's up back, and pretty much in the end, she says that she was robbed of the women's title, and I agree. You had Jamie Hayter, and then you had Ruby, not Rebel, or Rebel, not Reba, or Reba, not Rebel. I said Ruby, right? You had her, and they kind of distracted Ruby, and Ruby was ended up in the lockjaw. You can't get your way out of that. Find your way out of that if Dr. Britt has that locked in. Ain't no way getting out of that. Then she says that, she's not going to cut in front of the line. She can't do that. She's going to work her way back. And that's the Ruby Soho, or back then Ruby Wright, that I know. That she's going to fight her way back and earn her way. She actually did it in the Casino Battle Royal. And people will go, oh, she got it too soon. She earned it. That's what those Battle Royals, Royal Rumbles, what do you want to call those? That's what they're for. You fight your way through that, you win it, you get yourself a damn title match, because you earned it. In one night, sure, but you earned it. Now, HFO, Matt Hardy re-raced Rochester, New York, which is the hometown of Brodie Lee. And Brodie Lee was actually supposed to have his, homecoming match here in Rochester. But it didn't happen because he passed away. I guess they were supposed to have it happen last year. But, we had COVID and all that stuff going on. Still have it going on with the, shutdowns and all that stuff. But and then also Matt Hardy was supposed to make his debut, but it didn't happen. He said, why would he want to have it happen in a place like this? People were berating him. Even the Men of the Year were doing that. I'll talk about that later. They were doing that too, berating Rochester, New York. There's some bad places there in New York, but New York is a great city. But there's some places like all over the world, all over this country. You have some great cities, great states, but some places in their states pretty bad. But they're only doing that. But they're going to face Orange Cassidy in the Dark Order in a 16-man tag team match. And this is the reason why I don't like multi-man matches. Even matches like this, too many people. They only got one referee. Even good old JR said, this is the time when you need more than one referee. You got, her in there. You got, she's a great referee, is Aubrey Edwards, but she don't have eyes on the back of her head and on the top of her head and the side of her head under her chin. She only has those two set of eyes. She can't just, focus on who's doing who doing what. And it's funny because you see Evil Uno and you see Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson, no, not Robin. Grayson, Stu Grayson. There you go. He's trying to convince him, go back, go back. He's not going, and then out comes -1, Brodie's son, and then he does what his dad used to do. He has that rolled up paper and throws it at Uno. And I love Uno's reaction. He's just like this, kind of grazes his head. And then his wife Amanda looked like she's channeling her husband. Like husband came down in spirit and kind of took over her wife and gave him that evil look. And I was thinking that'd make anybody go back into the ring, and they did. And then they went to town. They cleaned house, right? And then with her motivation, with Amanda's motivation, they ended up winning the match. And my thing about this is that how come they didn't do there was 8 of them, right? So why didn't he do a 8-man tag team match with one half of the Dark Order against the other half? I think Brodie Lee doesn't really care about a match like this in the sense that all of them together are going to take on another team. He probably would have been like, okay, I'm going to put all y'all in a match, 8-man tag match. You guys get in there, beat the living you-know-what about out of each other. Get all your aggression out. Get all your frustration, everything, especially it's going on between what do you call it? Going on between Alex Reynolds and Evil Uno. Pretty much that's where a lot of the tension's at. But they should go at each other, beat the hell out of each other, and then in the end it's going to be okay. But then no, they put them in a 16-man tag team match. I'm like, but they looked like they were definitely together, and and doing their thing, and they were like looking like they were reunited. But I don't know. Next week's going to probably be the same thing. I hope they don't break them up because these guys really are fun to watch and they really are hilarious. Their antics and everything, and they're also a great unit. When you see Evil Uno and Stu Grayson as a tag team, and amazing. You see John Silver and Alex Reynolds, amazing too. You got 10, in there, and but let's see. But at least Amanda was there and she was able to kind of put a fire under our butts and get in the ring and get this doing. What are you guys doing? Get it done. Win this match. Especially win it for Brodie. Now Leo Rush. He popped up in the that casino. What ladder match was that? Wasn't it a casino ladder match? He was the Joker, or was that Battle Royal? But nonetheless, he made his appearance. And he was actually going to retire from what I read, but then he got talking with Tony Khan, and he not only convinced him to come to AEW, but he signed him up, and now Leo Rush is All Elite. And he's apparently a businessman, and he's all about his business. He's all about making money. He's all about doing everything to make his business successful. So let's see what he does and see how he performs in AEW as a regular member now, and that's good to see him. I loved him when he was in 205 Live. He was in WWE Cruiserweight Champion and NXT as well. So let's see what he does here. Now, simply put by FTR, they said they are revitalized, rejuvenated, and refocused, and that's bad news for everybody. And because that's an advantage. That's not only for them, but they are also saying the Pinnacle, and we all know the Pinnacle is all that. Y'all know that they're always ready. We haven't seen them together. They're doing their separate thing, but they still represent the Pinnacle. Just like with the with the Inner Circle, they're separate right now, doing their thing, but they're always together mentally. They're there for each other, even if they're not physically there. But let's go. Move on. Dan Lambert running his mouth that he claims to have ended Jericho's career, or actually the guy with the high knee, that knee trembler with Jericho's side of his head knocking him out. Maybe he's the one, not Dan Lambert. But we hear him running his mouth like he usually does, same old stuff, but really trying to make a point every time. And then Scorpio and Sky and Ethan Page are complaining and feel that America's top 10 team and they, the men of the year, are the real champions. That's why Ethan Page says, I'm with the real champions, you know. What do you call it? Scorpio Sky talking about how he's one of the first champions. Yeah, he was inaugural world tag team champions. And talks about how when he, going back a year, everything like that, no one took him seriously. No one really felt that he could really do anything, even though he pretty much was the face of the revolution after winning the, what he calls that Sonic Ring, for that, or that during the, I guess it was during the casino, what do you call it? It's either during the casino ladder match, or just one of the ladder matches, but he took it down, and yeah, he was the face of thing. And he feels like, yeah, him and Paige felt like they had to, find somebody, and they said that Dan Lambert is the one who believed in them, and that's the reason why he's with America's top team, or he and Ethan Page are. So I kind of like where they're going with this, and I gotta admit though, Dan Lambert, he's a weasel, and he kind of reminds me of the Bobby Heenan when Bobby Heenan was that weasel. But the guy can really, really cut a promo. The guy's really good. Don't know where he comes from. I mean, I don't know what his background is. Yeah, he's a member. He's the head of this team. But it's like, what's his background? What's his thing? Is he a motivational speaker? He's like that because he really does. He really can, talk on the mic. Really good. Really well. Now, Hikaru Shida, my favorite. She's gonna look for her 50th win at AEW Dynamite, the second anniversary. It's coming Wednesday. But she's not going to have it easy. Remember when we saw Jungle Boy get his 50th victory? He had to earn it the hard way. And here she's going to go against the woman who is she has that tagline. She has that name of woman of 100 holds as well. This Serena Deeb. She actually said that about herself. And I've seen her wrestle. She's amazing. She was a trainer in WWE. She's also part of CM Punk, and also along with her is Luke Gallows, and they were known as the Straight Edge Society. And she was doing really well in there, and then she got released. But then when she got back, she came back. She was a trainer in NXT, and here she is she's a former women's champion in NWA. So she's doing really well, and she definitely is one of those amazing performers, wrestlers that you don't think there's anything there, but then you see her wrestle, going, God damn, she's good. And I always knew she was. I could always see that there, but I never seen her in this, full form, this, iteration of Serena Deeb, and it's amazing. Now, let's move up to Penelope Ford and the Bunny versus Anna Jay and Tay Conti. And I noticed that Tay Conti and Anna Jay are matching pink attire, and then Penelope Ford and the Bunny are in matching black leather with red stripes. I'm thinking, man, they got it together. Really, really good, cohesion was as a tag team in their look. I was thinking that's pretty damn good. They look good. They look good. All four women are gorgeous. They're talented too, amazing. And it's nice seeing that because it's just like it shows their unity, and it shows something like somebody's wearing what they want and someone wearing what they want, you know. But because that also is something that a tag team needs to, is that unity in their look as well. Because if one person's wearing jeans and a torn T-shirt, and someone is wearing traditional tights or traditional trunks, you're like, looks kind of, you know. But well, enough of my fashion critique. And on to the finish as Anna Jay taps out Penelope Ford and wins the match. And then Negative One comes out, joins the two in the ring, and gets an embrace from Tay Conti and Anna Jay. I'm thinking how sweet. Because they're talking about how Tay Conti and I've seen it. We've seen it in the past where her and Negative One have a really, really close relationship, a close friendship, and she's almost like a big brother to him, and always gives him big hugs, and always is there. They're always there together. It's like it's really nice to see. So when Brodie Lee left us, unfortunately, he's got people that are showing absolute love for his kid and making sure he's okay and looking out for him, and that's good to see. It's not just a gimmick on the screen. You know that in off screen and all that they take care of the kid and look after him. And AEW for that matter, even Tony Khan, doing a great job, and I commend him for looking out for not only -1 but also for Amanda as well. Jade Cargill is gonna beat the asses of beat those. She's gonna beat the those bitch asses. Just something like that. To about Thunder Rosa and Nyla Rose, and then Thunder Rosa, that is, warns that they are in store for a major party, and I guess it's not going to definitely be a fun party if she's the one that's going to throw it. And then Nyla Rose says that their pain is her pleasure, and then you hear that cackling laugh from Vicky Guerrero. And these ladies are going to face each other on Rampage this Friday. Now, MJF, he talks about the future of AEW and what is needed to succeed. He talks about Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, and Darby Allin as three of the four pillars, and then that fourth pillar is him, and that the fourth pillar is better than you, MJF. Now, he says without him, the company is shit, and he deserves to be the AEW champion, and he says that he has Bruce Pritchard on speed dial. He had a relationship with him in MLW, which is Major League Wrestling, and I'm thinking, is he actually threatening to go to WWE? Or are we going back to MLW? I don't know. And then Darby Allin comes out and says that he tells him to leave. Go ahead and leave. No one's going to miss you here. But then he lets MJF know that how can you be a pillar if I'm the only one that has a championship between us? Well, he has that ring, right? $50,000 ring. He's won twice, or he won it once and defended it twice, and thinks that's a championship. I don't know. That's an achievement, but I don't know about a championship. And then to kind of stick it to Darby Allin, he getting personal like he always does. He doesn't care what he says. He brings up Darby's uncle. Darby Allin and his uncle were in a car crash, and his uncle's the one that died in that car crash, and he was thinking that, hey, you should have been the one to die in that car crash. And then he looks at him and goes, "Stop talking." He says, he pretty much just gets in his face and pretty much tells him off. And then MJF just gets out of the ring. "Come on," says the Wardlow, and they go out. And then after that, that's it. That's it. They didn't continue that. And I'm thinking, he kind of punked out MJF. Usually people don't punk out MJF, but there you go. Now, let's look at what's going to happen on Rampage. It's going to be Nick Jackson. He's the one that steps up and is going to take on Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson. And then Jade Cargill and Thunder Rosa and Nyla Rose. I said they're going to be meeting up in a triple threat match. Got hair versus hair with Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans. And I know that Jack Evans is going to look like me, shaved head. And then next week's Dynamite anniversary as the Elite take on Bryan Danielson, Christian Cage, and Jurassic Express. Then Hikaru Shida will be going for her 50th victory as she takes on Serena Deeb. And that's going to be a tough one for truly one of my favorites in the women's division. That's Hikaru Shida. And then we see the return of the Casino ladder match to determine the world championship contender. And that's going to be fun. And let's stick on with the main event, and let's just, get through it right away. Boom. TNT Championship match, and it's God's favorite champion versus the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara was really taking it to, Miro. Miro was really dominating this match, and he had it all set up, and he was looking for that submission move hold of his. I mean, he nailed him with that sidekick. He actually pinned... I believe it was he pinned Fuego with that. He didn't even do the submission move. And I thought, okay, that's it. He's done. But then we see Sammy Guevara overcoming all the odds because it's not going to be a day at the park, a day in the park, or an easy day. Easy time of it if you're going to go against Miro. But then he was able to get Miro on the ground, on the mat, I should say, and hit the 630, I should say, senton, nailing him with it. Then he ends up getting the win, and also, most importantly, he becomes the new TNT champion. Fuego was actually right there. He kind of distracted Miro. Miro knocks him off the ring, and then kind of got him off his game. And then, like I said, how it ended, that's how it ended. So congratulations to the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. the new TNT champion. I think it was the right thing to do, the right decision, because Miro didn't look weak. He didn't look bad in his. He just time for him. You know, all good things come to an end. You know, he had a win. He had an undefeated streak in WWE. Unfortunately, he lost it, and I was there at WrestleMania when he lost it to to John Cena, losing his United States Championship to him as well. So, you know, everybody is fed to Cena pretty much. So not recently with Roman Reigns beating him cleanly and fairly. But just WWE. Let's not talk about that. I don't want to get people pissed off. Oh no, this guy's WWE mark. Shut the fuck up. Like I said before, and I say it again. I love AEW and I love WWE. I love AEW a little bit more because WWE contends to they're juggling the balls and they tend to drop the ball. But then AEW's like this. AEW can go like this with the ball and go like this. You know, they're like kind of in control. At least recently, they've been really nailing it out of the park, hitting the home runs. So but I'm always going to be a WWE fan. I'm always going to be an AEW fan. Never gonna lose me as a fan, no matter what they do, because I'm just a loyal fan. I just love watching it, through the good and through the bad. That's what we all should do as fans. We don't just jump off the bandwagon when like football teams and baseball and basketball teams. Oh, they're not world title champions anymore. Oh, I'm gonna jump off the bandwagon. Oh, they're winning again. Let me get on that bandwagon. Shouldn't be like that. No one should be like that. You should always support your teams. Always support your favorite wrestling company, whatever. Even if you like two of them or three of them at the same time, you know. But anyway, I enjoyed Dynamite. I think it was great. It was just as great as last week during the Grand Slam thing, which was actually the best show out of either them or Rampage. They're the ones that won, the best Grand Slam show for me anyway. But I did enjoy it, and I'm glad that it was announced that Hikaru Shida is going for her 50th win next week, and I wish her all the best. And that's my video for my AEW Dynamite rundown and thoughts for the 29th of September 2021. It's going to be October already. By the time I upload this video, it'll be October 1st. And can't believe that. Time's going by pretty quick. This year's going to be ending before I know it. But anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked this out, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.